Hello, this is Progress Minecraft. This will be the first part of hopefully an ongoing series until also hopefully I finish this of Hyrule, Ocarina of Time, Overworld, and Dungeon maps. Um, a long time ago, well, not too long, 2012, I was working on the overmap of Hyrule in the creative mode, and I never quite finished it. After a few months, I went on hiatus and never really got back to it. I'd like to get back to it. I think it's about time that I did, and I figured this is a good way to motivate me to. So this episode will just be a tour of what I've got so far, and after that, subsequent episodes will be actually me working on and progressing with uh, with the map. The first few bits, mostly just the Lon Lon Ranch and a little bit of Kokiri, are not exact. I was working on it initially just because I wanted to build something and I had the 3DS in my hand and thought it might be fun to build. It wasn't until after I finished the Lon Lon Ranch that I decided to continue, and then the Kokiri Village. It wasn't until after that that I really decided to make it accurate and not just sort of a representation of the world. But here we go. This is the front of the Lon Lon Ranch. Went through it a little bit fast. It's not really anything to see. The entrance. And here we are. I tried to make it as accurate as possible, but within reason, I guess. As I said, this is the first thing that I did. It was before I really got an idea of what I was doing. So, and there's the track, which should be out here, but as I said, stay in there. You stay in there. And then from above, we'll head over to Kokiri. I'm working around the outside first, then I'm going to work my way in. I'll have to figure out that, because I know it's supposed to be on a hill, and yeah, that'll be fun. I may actually end up having to tear that down and rebuild it. This entrance isn't accurate, I know. This was just before I really started using visual aid to build directly from what it's supposed to look like. And here's Kokiri. I'll just start from the left. Up here's the Lost Wood. It's not finished yet. Any of the dungeons I was going to do after I got the actual overworld and city maps done. Here, I fit what I could. There's only so much I could do. And also, as I said, this was done in 2012, so some of the pieces that I do have access to now, I didn't have then. There's been a few updates that have added a lot to the game. Nothing really to say here. This is just as close as I could get to squeezing the houses into the building size. I started getting better about dimensions later on. And there's the Great Deku Tree. The dungeon will be finished in there once I actually get to the part where I start doing the dungeons. And then from above, and a village over there. And the path to Zora. Actually, right over here, it's supposed to turn the opposite way. I was not able to because if you look where the Lost Woods are going to be is where this needed to be. So I flipped it so that it would fit within the space that I had to use. Made it a little bit more challenging. It's not exactly the way it's supposed to be because of it, but it is. Everything's where it's supposed to be, just mirrored a bit. And this area right here, it's much more long and winding because of that, because I had to go all the way around the outside, but everything's there. This will go somewhere once I come back to it. And here we are, Zora Domain. I suppose we'll start down here first, then we'll head up there. I spent about 3 months on this total. It was around between I believe October and December that I spent the most time on this. Spent a little bit of time later on, but never really got back into the fervor that I did for the few months there. And while I probably won't get quite as into it as I was at that point in time, I would very much like to finish this at some point in my life. And I think it's worth finishing. And that's where the Zora Domain is. All right in there. Back out to the river. Oh, I missed. On to Cookery. I did have a little bit of flexibility. I realized that the loading screens, because in the game you'd walk up the stairs and then you'd load, but I have a little bit of flexibility because I can make that pathway and position the towns and areas wherever I need them to be in the overworld map, or not the overworld map, the map as a whole, so they fit in each other. I should just litter this place with chickens, but I haven't yet. As you can see, this is the Younglings area, because this building right here is not finished. Spiders. Around the right side. Show you the this just didn't. I just did not have the space. I tried really hard to try and make this work, but it just didn't. So This is the closest I could come to a representation in a very confined space. That's probably the part of the area that I'm least proud of, and I do want to come back to it at some point and maybe figure out a way to make that work. Enjoy the soothing music of Minecraft. So this part is not finished. I did make it go down a bit, but it's not complete. This part, however, is... Oh, yeah, this is up here. A little bit. It looks... This part I did finish small. Nothing really down here, but it's there. Back door to the shop. Tower. There's nothing in there, it's not finished yet, but Dungo's Cavern. Now this part right here is only done a little bit, but it is here. That's as far as I've gotten toward Death Mountain. And the Goron City. I might not end up showing you all of the little caves, just because it's so looping, but I'll try to show you everything that matters, really. Is this area. Big Goron would be right there. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to include any characters or designs of characters. Most likely not, just because the size that I'm building at just doesn't really allow for it. But the ghost towns of where these people would live. This goes off somewhere, I forget. But It'll all be done. Pot. And the shop. And here's what this looks like. There's the Goron City, Graveyard, and Kakariko. And now I will come over here and we will see what I have of Hyrule. Okay, we'll go to the left. We'll just head around this area. Now this one, I've hit as much as I could. I tried to make it at least seem like what it's supposed to be, but there's really only so much space that I have, so that's just as far as it goes. Whatever end treasure might be. This. Won't go that way yet. I'm gonna just come back here and follow along the right side, which doesn't have quite as much as that side. Here we are. Down to the temple. Here's the path toward the castle, which the castle is not finished. It's counted as a dungeon as far as I'm concerned. I did start it thinking otherwise, but I'm stopping and gonna finish the overworld before I get back to it. There's the gate. Do I be going too fast? Alright. Get up there in a second after we see the Great Fairy. Now this is all base. There are no mods. There's no, as you can tell, there's nothing. This is just using the basic texture pack, and whatever the game has. That's the way you have to actually go in the game. The unfinished gate. These are supposed to be the boxes that you have to push over here so that you can make the jump. And this is as far as I got. This part right here is the part that I'm not going to finish just yet anyways. Not until I've got more of the rest of the actual overworld done. But this is as far as I've gotten for this part, at least. And I'll show you the whole thing from above. Great Fairy. Temple. Back there's where the sword is. And the rest of the city, complete with unfinished buildings that you can't go into anyway, so. And this is where I will be starting, right here. I'm working my way further around the world. Probably gotta finish this up first. Probably before I even actually start recording for that. But I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoy the rest of it as I continue on this project and likely tear down that and rebuild it. There's Ocarina of Time so far. Have a good one.